Narcissists construct a carefully crafted image to present to the world. This grandiose persona is designed to impress and exert control over others. Beneath the surface lies a masked true self. Individuals who prioritize control may deceive others without revealing their true intentions. Deception involves concealing one's real motives to manipulate social interactions. The pursuit of control often underlies deceptive behavior, undermining genuine connection. Narcissists initially present themselves as charming and confident individuals. They captivate others with engaging stories and an appearance of being remarkable. This initial charm serves as a facade, masking underlying traits. Lack of sincerity is revealed through subtle discrepancies between verbal claims and underlying intentions. Conditional kindness implies that acts of generosity are contingent upon specific expectations or returns. Transactional love suggests that affection and care are exchanged for tangible benefits or services. Every interaction is strategically designed to maintain a grandiose self-image. Ego feeding is the primary motivation, with all actions geared towards receiving admiration and validation. The individual seeks to remain the center of attention, orchestrating scenarios to ensure their perceived importance. Narcissists primarily seek external validation, rather than engaging in introspection. The focus on external admiration serves as a shield, preventing self-reflection. Avoiding self-reflection is a key characteristic of narcissistic behavior. Individuals adapt to roles that maximize their influence within a given environment. This adaptation may involve simulating empathy to gain trust and manipulate others. The pursuit of influence can lead to strategic manipulation within social dynamics. The fear of being ordinary stems from a deep-seated need for validation. This fear manifests as a desire to be seen and recognized by an audience. The absence of an audience can trigger feelings of insignificance and invisibility. Narcissists engage in a continuous performance designed to captivate and control others. This perpetual act aims to keep others mesmerized and under their influence. The performance is a never-ending cycle of seeking admiration and maintaining dominance. Manipulation involves individuals making interactions predominantly about themselves. Manipulative partners often distort situations to fit their narrative. Some leaders seek admiration without providing genuine guidance or support. Superficial charm often masks underlying manipulative tendencies. The need for control can manifest as subtle or overt manipulation. Cracks in the facade reveal a person's true nature and motivations. Rational individuals respond to truth with reflection and self-assessment. Narcissists, conversely, react to truth with attempts to distort reality and assert dominance. This divergence in response highlights a fundamental difference in psychological processing. Domination strategy in conversation involves treating every interaction as a competition to be won. The goal is to achieve dominance rather than seek mutually beneficial resolutions. Conversations are perceived as battlefields where opponents must be overcome at all costs. Guilt, blame, and deception are employed as tools to manipulate outcomes. These tactics distort perceptions of reality to ensure the manipulator's success. Weaponizing guilt involves strategically using emotional manipulation to gain advantage. Narcissists often rewrite past events to suit their current narrative. Denying responsibility is a common tactic used to avoid accountability for their actions. Narcissists frequently shift the focus of conversations to avoid addressing their own shortcomings. Individuals may avoid responsibility by refusing to admit fault for their actions. Deflection involves redirecting blame onto others to evade accountability. Denying the pain caused prevents acknowledgement of the impact of one's actions. Arguments and evidence are ineffective when confronting a defense based on illusion. The foundation of their defense is not rooted in factual truth, but in constructed falsehoods. Attempts to dismantle the illusion through logical reasoning prove futile. Seeking validation from a narcissist reinforces their sense of superiority. This dynamic grants the narcissist more power, strengthening their control over the situation. The pursuit of approval becomes a cycle of dependence, perpetuating the narcissist's influence. The core strategy involves disengaging from manipulative tactics. Recognizing manipulative tactics is the first step toward disengagement. Refusing to engage on the manipulator's terms prevents further exploitation. Disengagement initiates the fracturing of a constructed illusion. The illusion's disruption destabilizes a meticulously crafted reality. Cracks in the illusion reveal the underlying, perhaps less appealing, truth. A well-aimed question can shatter a deceptive illusion. Carefully chosen questions strike at the foundation of a false reality. Disruption occurs without direct confrontation. Using inquiry as a tool, Narcissist's sense of self is based on external validation rather than internal identity. Narcissistic individuals rely on the reactions of others to define their self-worth. The narcissistic self is not rooted in genuine self-perception, but in perceived, external image. The absence of external admiration and validation exposes a profound sense of emptiness. This void represents an internal state that individuals actively seek to avoid. The avoidance of this emptiness drives a need for constant external affirmation. Dependence on external validation constitutes a significant vulnerability. Withdrawal of external validation can trigger instability and dysfunction. This vulnerability stems from an over-reliance on external feedback for self-worth and operational integrity. The question explores the hypothetical scenario of being unable to impress others. It prompts introspection on personal motivations beyond external validation. The scenario encourages a focus on intrinsic values and self-acceptance. Hesitation can indicate uncertainty or conflict in processing information. Confusion manifests as a visible struggle to reconcile new information with existing understanding. Subtle shifts in expression provide insights into underlying cognitive and emotional responses. The core issue is the individual's deep-seated need for external validation. This dependence on admiration masks a fear of confronting one's true self. Confronting this truth is essential for achieving genuine self-acceptance and independence. The act of questioning removes the sense of being in the spotlight. Questioning silences the applause, creating an absence of positive reinforcement. The audience's disappearance symbolizes a loss of external validation and support. Performances driven by the pursuit of admiration prioritize external validation over genuine connection. The focus on being admired can overshadow the desire for authentic love and understanding. A realization emerges that performances were designed for external approval rather than internal fulfillment. The void represents an emptiness that individuals may attempt to avoid throughout their lives. This emptiness can be a defining characteristic, shaping behaviors and decisions. Confronting this void involves acknowledging and understanding its influence. The core issue revolves around a deficiency in authenticity. The inquiry necessitates genuine self-representation, which is conspicuously absent. The lack of a true self is revealed through the demand for authenticity. The illusion falters, revealing the underlying reality. The mask slips, exposing the true nature hidden beneath. Exposure occurs when the facade crumbles, revealing the authentic self. Perceived power is often derived from the belief and support of others, rather than inherent authority. The illusion of power can be maintained through carefully constructed facades and manipulated perceptions. True power resides not in outward appearances, but in the collective agreement to acknowledge and sustain it. Self-protection involves detachment, rather than direct confrontation. Detachment prioritizes personal safety and emotional well-being. Choosing detachment avoids escalating conflicts and potential harm. Detachment involves ceasing to react in expected ways. Detachment means no longer seeking fairness from someone incapable of providing it. Emotional detachment is a strategic response to unproductive interactions. Ceasing the pursuit of external validation is essential for personal clarity. Reclaiming personal clarity involves disconnecting from external influences. Self-validation fosters independence and a stronger sense of self. Emotional regulation is key to neutralizing manipulative tactics. Lack of emotional response denies the manipulator the desired reaction. Without the ability to elicit a reaction, the manipulator loses power. Chaos is intentionally created to disrupt equilibrium and obscure underlying manipulative tactics. Distraction serves as a primary tool to divert attention from the truth of manipulative actions. Manipulation relies on maintaining a state of confusion to prevent clear perception and critical analysis. The impact of others is directly proportional to the permission granted to affect oneself. Personal power is diminished when external conflicts are perceived as inherently valuable. Self-worth is independent of external validation or conflict. Detachment involves refusing to allow external sources to control one's emotional state. Maintaining detachment prevents others from dictating one's sense of self. Detachment is essential for preserving inner peace and mental well-being. Acceptance involves acknowledging that some individuals are unlikely to undergo fundamental change. Offering closure is a process of providing oneself with a sense of completion, even in the absence of external resolution. Seeking understanding from others may not always be fruitful. Internal understanding can be a more reliable source of peace. Personal transformation allows individuals to reclaim their inner power. Achieving clarity and peace of mind is essential for self-empowerment. Self-empowerment creates resilience against external negative influences. The power to reclaim oneself resides in asking the right questions. Self-reclamation is achieved through critical inquiry and introspection. Control is regained by strategically questioning assumptions and narratives. Maintaining strength and wisdom involves recognizing the underlying fears of others. A primary fear is the exposure of one's true self, revealing vulnerabilities and insecurities. Understanding this fear provides insight into motivations and behaviors. Identifying narcissistic traits involves recognizing a pattern of grandiosity. Another key indicator is a pervasive need for admiration from others. A significant lack of empathy is also a defining characteristic. Narcissistic abuse can cause significant emotional distress in victims. Victims of narcissistic abuse often develop self-doubt and question their own perceptions. Difficulty trusting others is a common consequence of narcissistic abuse. Healing from narcissistic abuse necessitates the practice of self-compassion. Establishing firm boundaries is crucial in the recovery process from narcissistic abuse. Seeking support from trusted individuals is an integral component of healing from narcissistic abuse. Establishing clear boundaries is crucial for self-protection. Boundaries prevent manipulation and abuse. Personal boundaries safeguard against further harm. Connecting with support groups offers guidance and validation for those affected by narcissistic abuse. Therapists specializing in narcissistic abuse provide professional guidance and therapeutic strategies. Seeking specialized support facilitates understanding, coping, and healing from the effects of narcissistic abuse. Moving forward necessitates reclaiming one's identity. Building self-esteem is crucial for personal advancement. Creating a life free from manipulation and control is the ultimate goal.